Alright guys, so I've had a few requests to do a bit of a what's on my phone video, especially with the Pocophone. With the way I have it set up, it doesn't exactly look stock. So what I'm going to do today is go through the different apps that I use, some of the ones that you may have seen and asked what they were. I'm going to point them out, show you kind of in and around them, and which apps I use on my Pocophone on a daily basis. So let's jump into it. Now as you can see, this thing is not stock. I am running a Nova launcher, which is something I think a lot of people do run on their Pocophone F1. It's just something that keeps away from, as well as all the bloat and the other stuff that you get with the standard Mi launcher. I feel like you get a decent amount of stuff there. It's fairly modern looking, but when it comes to launchers, I tend to use Nova on pretty much any phone apart from like Pixels and stuff. Now I have got this widget set up with Super Pro and a couple of packs that I'll put on the screen right now. They're essentially just different packs for widgets and icons that you can use. I don't have all of my icons here on custom packs, so I thought instead of mixing and matching different packs, I would just have them all default. So we've kind of got the main row across the bottom. We've got YouTube Studio because it allows you to check your YouTube analytics. Hangouts is basically exclusively how I talk to my girlfriend Casey, because we don't use text because we're not like 100 years old. We've got Spotify here, which I use almost every day. I've got Spotify Premium. My browser of choice, which is Chrome, and Twitter, which I use more often than I think I'd like to admit. Next up is Imgur, which is basically a site that I use exclusively for looking at memes, because memes are great. Instagram, yeah, that's a good app as well. I use that quite a lot, although I haven't posted a lot recently. I do tend to browse a lot on it. I really do like Instagram. I love photography, taking photos, all that kind of thing. LastPass, because you got to have LastPass or some kind of dash lane or whatever. Discord, which I use way too much. I use it as like my video calling suite, my voice calling suite, group chats, everything is on Discord. We have a Google folder with just a bunch of Google apps in it, the most frequently used ones, especially Docs and Sheets, and then YouTube, because that's got to be on the home screen. I don't actually have any other home screens, as you can see here. If I swipe it, there's nothing there. This is literally all I have, because the Spotify kind of dock, the widget, I find kind of pointless, because you can just pull down the notification tray and just use the kind of quick toggles there. So I don't tend to have a widget on any of the phones when it comes to Spotify. I've got a pretty clean layout. The background is actually from an app, and we'll go through this in a second, but from an app called Wally, which is what I use for my backgrounds. I really like it. So if you've ever seen backgrounds in my videos, 99% of them come from this app called Wally, and actually you can see that one there, that's the one I have. So what this app does is it just compiles loads and loads of different backgrounds. You can get kind of different types that's featured. There's categories, so you get tons and tons of different types. And yeah, I don't tend to go through the categories. I tend to just go on popular and see what's happening at the moment. I try to get some featureful ones, some bright ones, and just see what happens, because I really like the way this looks with this widget. Now, we've got tons of different apps for the widgets. I'll go through that in a second, but the way I'm using this is with an app called Super Pro, which is an app I paid for, but essentially it just allows you to configure different widgets, different sizes, and they're kind of custom and not the standard widgets that come with Android. Now, if I go through just the basic suite of what I've got that might stand out, I'll just scroll through because you'll be able to see everything here. And I'm just going to go through and back through and pick out the ones I think are worth explaining, because there are some games, there are some shopping apps, you guys know all this stuff, and it doesn't really tend to stand out because everyone has them on their phone. You probably have them on your phone, and I guess it's nothing special. Top 9 is, we'll work our way up. Top 9 is something that I really don't care too much about. It's just something that I found for last year when you check out your top most used Instagram or most liked Instagram posts. Year in Pixels is really cool. You basically put your mood into a graph, and it shows you what days were your best days and why. Scrolling up, we have Telegram, which is a really good messaging app that I don't use, that Griffin is getting me to use on a daily basis. We've got Speedbot, which is something I really like. It's for Assetto Corsa. It's kind of like, it's the same thing with Sim Dashboard there. It's basically a wireless dashboard where you use your phone as the dashboard for the car in the game, which is really cool. We've got some recording apps, got Real Dash, same thing, some racing games. As you can see, I'm really into my racing. I do love racing games. Got RuneScape, which is, I haven't played RuneScape in years, so it's really cool to have it back on the mobile. We've got Meteor Earth, which shows different kind of pressures and weathers for when going out and taking photos. And the same thing really for Lightroom. I use those kind of in conjunction with each other. We got the GoPro app because I recently bought a GoPro and I'm using it for another project, but maybe I'll find a use for it on Failtech at some point. Then we've got Galaxy Wear, obviously for my Galaxy Watch, which I am not wearing right now, unfortunately. I've got it charging. For most of these games, to be honest, are literally just for testing purposes, like when I did the review of the whole thing, so that's why I have a bunch of games on here. I don't tend to play a lot of games apart from the golf game, which someone was talking about. That's Golf Battle right there. And that's pretty much it. Going right the way back to the beginning, the two most interesting ones, or like the most interesting one for me, is that we've got the stock camera app, we've also got the Google camera app. This is just basically the Google APK. Now I'm pretty sure in this build the video doesn't work. So yeah, there you go, camera error. But I tend to use the main camera app for that, which is right here. I really like it. I think it's a really cool camera app. It just, the HDR isn't quite as good as the main one, but all the photo and video features are really cool on this camera app. Pulling down notification shade, you can see my setup here. So we've got 2 SIMs in there, currently on 4G. I have a 3 UK, and I've got O2. I've mentioned that quite a few times, but yeah, those are the 2 SIMs that I use. The main reason is O2 I got for my iPhone 10, which I've sold, so I still pay a ludicrous amount for that, but thankfully it's not so much in the way of paying off the phone now because I have sold the phone. Then on 3 I got it because it's unlimited data for £20 a month, which I really like. There aren't really any apps that I exclusively use on this that I don't use on other phones, or I haven't really used on other phones. Obviously the GoPro app is kind of new because I've got a GoPro now, and yeah, most of the games are there just for testing purposes. This is the only game I play, and it's basically a 2D title. You could probably play this on like a Galaxy S4 with no issues. It's a mini clip game. Really like this game. Hopefully you enjoyed that little insight into what is on my Pocophone and what I generally use on my phone. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do like, dislike, comment and subscribe if you're new around here to never miss a video like this one. Also check out my social media links, will all be in the video description as always, as well as my Patreon link, which I want to give a massive shout out to all my patrons. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. And I also want to give a massive shout out to my Discord members. Again, links will all be in the video description. My name's Ryan with Failtech, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.